guys, I hope you are all well. I am going to be taking you through about a 30-minute Pilates class, more focused on beginner work. Anyone is welcome to try it. There will be progressions and I guarantee you will still get a burn, beginner or any level, but there will be more rests and breaks in between. So yes, you won't need anything other than your mat and a drink bottle for this one. We're going to get straight into it, coming down, laying onto our backs. We're going to walk those heels in so that our fingertips are just brushing against the edge of our heels, and we're going to come up into our bridge. So lifting those hips up, have a slight squeeze through the glutes as you level off through the hips. So you want your hips sitting nice and level, and then slowly lower it back down. So as we come up, we want to lift that lower back, middle back, upper back. Hold it up here for a second. Start to engage through those legs, and then slowly roll it back down. So you want to be pressing up through your heels here, equal weight through both sides. Having a slight squeeze of the glutes as you lift up. You use that exhale breath to come up, bracing through the core. Just warming up into the legs, the hips and the spine here. If you'd like, you might like to lift your arms overhead as you come up and take them back down. So you'll inhale as you come up, exhale on your way back down. Pressing evenly up through both of your heels. And next one up, we're going to hold it there. You have the option here to keep your arms up in the air or take them back down to the mat for some extra support. Lift those hips up a little bit higher. Imagine the back of our bum is resting on a shelf. So we don't want to let it drop here. That imaginary shelf is helping support us. We're holding it here nice and strong. You're going to pulse those hips. Squeeze the glutes. Lift those hips up a little bit higher each time. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it all back down. We're coming straight back up into that bridge. Hold it nice and strong. Hips are resting on that imaginary shelf once more. We're going to lift up the heels, lower the heels. Lift and lower. So coming really high up onto the ball of those toes. Trying to keep the heels in line with the toes. We don't want them rolling out. So we want to really try and focus on lifting those heels straight up to the sky. Keeping those hips level. I'm going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that spine back down. All right, we're coming up once more here. You have the option here to lift up those heels, so come onto the balls of your toes, otherwise feet can stay flat, choice is yours. We're opening out those knees away from you and then close them together. Open them out, close them in. So take those knees out as wide as you can and then try and get those knees to touch each other when they come back in. Zipping up through those inner thighs. Glutes should be starting to fire up here. We're going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering it all back down. Pull those knees in towards your chest and take a little bit of a rock. We're going to come back up into that bridge and we're going to mix those 3 movements. So the heel lifts, the pulses and the knee openers. We're going to mix them all together and do them all at once. Trying to do it without having a break in between. We're really firing up those glutes here. All right, lower those feet down once more. Coming up into that bridge. Starting off with those pulses. Squeeze the glutes, pulse the hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold it up in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up nice and strong. Lift those hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Hold it up in 3, 2, 1. Option to have your heels up or down. Open those knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Holy moly, I've got those legs woken up this morning or the afternoon, depending on when you're doing this workout. Pull those knees in, take that rock. Have a little bit of a break from the glutes here and come up into some core. And maybe we'll fix our hair if it's come out of our ponytail. Every time, I swear this happens to me. I need to stop putting my hair in buns because it always falls out. Alright, hugging everything in really nice and tight. So those shoulders are lifted, chin's pulling down towards your chest. We're then coming into a single leg stretch. So you hug one leg in as you extend the other leg long. And then switch. So try and stay lifted through the shoulders. Extending that leg away from you like you're trying to reach the wall in front. And then hugging that knee in towards you as tight as you can. You're going to keep the back of the waistband of your pants pressing down into the mat. We can continue like this, or if we want something a little bit extra, we'll come into our double leg stretch. So you'll hug both knees in, extend it all out. Hug it all in, extend it out. We're going for 3, 2, hold all in on 1. Keep that curl up. We're then going to let go of the legs, extend them up to the sky. Hug them back in, extend them up. Hug and extend. Try and keep lifted through those shoulders. We'll go for another 5, 4, reaching those legs up high to the sky, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back down. We're going to lower those feet down, and we're going to come up into that bridge sequence one last time. So, curling up. Hold that bridge up nice and high. Remember that imaginary shelf. Hips are level. We're going to lift our left foot up. Extend that leg to the sky. You'll lower that leg down halfway. Lift it up. Lower down halfway and lift. We're going for 5. Stay lifted through that right side. 3. Holding that left leg up into and 1. That left leg stays up. Nice and high. Hold it here and little pulses up towards the sky. Pulsing those hips up like we did before in our first set of bridges. For 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left leg, lower the spine. Alright, we're going to come straight back up and into that right side. So lifting that right leg up. Keep the hips stacked. Keep lifted through that right leg. Extend that right leg up. Lower it down halfway, lift it up. Stay lifted through that left side for 3, 2, keep that leg up on 1, hold it here nice and strong. Little pulses up towards the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg, lower the spine. Pull those knees in towards your chest once more. Take another little rock from left to right. Right, we'll come into another round of core here. This time we're straightening those legs up to the sky. If you have a slight bend through the knees, totally fine. We're coming into a toe reach here. So as we exhale, we curl up, inhale, lower back down. So we're reaching those hands towards the toes. And really reaching with that core. So use that core to pull you up rather than reaching from those hands. Use the breath to help you here. Exhale on your way up. We're going for another 5, 4. We're going to hold it up in 3, 2, 1. Hold your next one up. We're coming into our scissors. So option to hold around the ankle. If that's not available for you, you can go the knee or the thigh, wherever you're at. We're hugging one leg in as we extend the other long. And then switch. So try and lock out through those knees. You'll pull that leg towards you as you hover the other from the mat. Keeping the chest lifted. Shoulders up nice and high. I'm going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs back up to the sky. Hands can come behind your head. Option to stay up here. Otherwise, lower the head down to the floor. We're lowering one leg down. Pick it back up. Lower the other leg down. Pick it up. So you want to use that exhale breath to pull it back through center. We'll go for a few more. You can choose to continue with this, or maybe you'll glue those legs together, lower both legs down, lift them both up. With control here, keep the waistband of your pants pressing into the mat. We'll go for 2 more. Last one. And then bring those knees in. Take that rock. And we'll take a nice little stretch of the spine here. So take those arms out at shoulder height, so out into a T. Legs come up into tabletop, so knees are stacked above the hips. Shins are parallel to the mat. Glue those knees together as you roll those knees over to the left. Maybe your eye gaze looks over towards that right hand. Shoulders are heavy on the mat. Taking some deep breaths in here. We're going to lift that top leg up, followed by the bottom leg, come back through center. Glue those feet and ankles together. Roll it over to the right. Maybe the eye gaze looks towards the left. Shoulders are heavy on the mat. Bring those legs back up, top leg followed by the bottom. Pull both knees in, chest comes up to meet those knees, hug it all in nice and tight as we roll back and forward. Take a few here, really curving through the spine to make it a nice smooth movement before coming all the way up. Grab a drink. Pretty warmed up through the core and the glutes now. We're going to come into a 4-point kneel here. So hips are stacked above those knees, shoulders above the wrists. And we're just going to roll some circles, so shifting our body weight around those wrists. So we want to press each knuckle into the mat. So we draw big circles. And then take it the opposite way. And then we'll come back through center. If you would like something a little bit more challenging here, you'll walk those hands a step forward. So your hands are in front of your shoulders. Otherwise, your hands will be stacked underneath. We're going to hinge forward, sink those hips down, so you want one long line from shoulder to knee. We're coming into our push-up here, so you lower your chest down as you send your elbows back towards your waist. Press it back up. We're then coming back, so hips are stacked back above the knees, then lowering your elbows down towards the mat. Lift it back up. Hinge the hips forward, lower the chest between the hands, big exhale, press it up. So coming to our 2-part push-up here. So a regular push-up as we lower the chest between the hands, and then coming down, lowering down onto our forearms. So we're shifting those hips back and forward each time. Use that exhale breath to help you press up. And take it nice and slow, really trying to engage through those triceps here. Each time those elbows are going back by your waist, so they're going back behind you. We're going to go one more each way. Next time we're coming into that push-up, we're going to lower our chest all the way down to the mat. Take it really slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down onto your stomach. Maybe shift back so you're properly on your mat. Stack those hands on top of each other and then resting your head on those hands. We're going to come up into a chest lift here. So inhale to prepare. Exhale as you lift your hands and your chest up from the mat and coming back down. So lightly pressing the top of your feet into the mat to help you lift up that little bit further. Recruiting all of those muscles in the lower back. Draw the shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep the neck nice and long. Try and lift up a little bit higher each time. And then you can continue with this here, or maybe you'd like to bring the legs into it as well. So glue those heels together. Slight squeeze through the glutes as you lift it all up, lower it back down. Lift it up, lower it down. We're going to go for another 5, 4, 3. You're going to hold it up in 2 and 1. Hold your next one up. Extend those arms out long and we're going swimming. Lifting up, opposite leg, opposite arm for 10, 9. Keep that neck nice and long. Eye gaze looking down in front for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest it down. Press back into a child's pose. Heels together, knees wide. Reach those arms out long. Stretching out through your spine here as you try and lower your glutes towards your ankles. And I'm going to slowly roll on up. Roll out those shoulders. Grab a drink if you need one. And then we're going to come into a bit of side lying work. So when you're ready, we'll meet laying down on our right side. You're going to bend the knees in towards the edge of the mat. So your shoulders, hips and ankles will all be in one long line. Reach your right arm out long in front and your left hand is going to rest on that right arm. Head can lower down to the mat. We're just going to take a nice little stretch here. So dragging that top arm across the bottom, across the chest, open it out towards the other side of the room. So really opening up through the shoulder and the chest. If you have that room, unlike I do, you'll extend that left arm out long. And then reverse that movement. Glide that hand back across the chest and across the arm. Reach it out long in front. I'm going to go a few more like this. Your eye gaze might follow that left hand as it hovers just above the mat as we open up. Trying to keep the hips and the knees really nice and still here. We're trying to twist through the spine rather than those hips. We'll go one more like this. Open up that chest. Hover that arm from the mat You stretch out through that shoulder and then reverse it. And next one we're doing, we're making a big semicircle with that hand. So you're going to take the arm overhead, draw a circle above you, and close it back up. Again, that head eye gaze follows the arm. Use up all of the space that you have here. Do that nice twist through the spine. We'll go once more like this. Back. And then bring that bottom arm in. You have a couple options here. You can take that bottom arm out long, rest your head on the arm, or rest your head on your hand, whichever feels more comfortable for you. I'm going to take that top leg out nice and long. Bottom leg stays heavy on the mat. We're lifting that leg up, lower it back down. Lift it up, lower it down. We want that knee facing forward the same way as our chest. As you slowly lift it up, lower it back. So we're stopping when that leg gets to hip height. Everything else stays nice and still, just lifting it up as high as is available for you today. Using some resistance on that way down, dragging it nice and slow. And the eye gaze we're looking at in front, so your neck is nice and long. We're going to go for another 5 like this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg down to hip height. Stay strong through that top glute here. You're sweeping that leg forward. Take it back behind you. Maybe get that extension behind you. Sweep it forward, take it back. You might like to point the toes as you come forward, flex the foot as you come back. I find with this I get a really nice stretch through the bottom side of my leg when I flex that foot on the way back. Everything else stays nice and still. Trying to keep that leg at hip height. We'll go for another 5, 4, keep it slow, 3, 2. On your next one, we're going to keep that leg swept forward. 1, sweep it forward as far towards your body as you can. You're going to tap the floor in front, lift it back up. We are not here for long. Stay strong through that top leg. Little taps and lifts. Pull that leg a little bit closer towards you. Lift it up a little bit higher for another 5, 4, you've got it. Stay strong here for 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg back. Give it a good little punch out. Nice work. All right, come on to that back here. Take those knees out about mat width and just roll those knees from left to right. We're going to take another little roll like a ball sequence before we roll over onto our other side. So pull those knees in towards your chest, chin comes up to those knees. Really hug in as tight as you can. Take a few rolls to get your momentum. When you come up, try and sit nice and high on those sit bones, hovering those feet from the mat. Curve the spine, roll back, come up, try and balance on those glutes. Keep the feet hovered. Deep curve through the spine, making it, trying to make it a nice smooth movement. Whew. You might continue with this here, or if you want a little bit of an extra challenge, next time you come up, you're going to try and let go of those knees. Hold your little teaser here. Hug it all back in, roll it back, come forward, let go of the knees. You might be rolling all over the place like I am. Totally fine. Just have some fun with this movement. Let go of any ideas of what you think is the right thing, and just do what feels good for your body here. We're going to go for 2 more.
I'm not sure I understand.
Thanks, Suri. Alright, last one. We're going to hold up that teaser. Let go of those feet if you can. Find your balance. Maybe straightening those legs up to the sky, lifting those arms up higher. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those soles of the feet together. Knees fall wide. Fluttering those knees, hinging forward. Alright. Grabbing a drink if you need one. We're going to meet laying down on our left side now. So when you're ready, you'll join me down here. Our bottom arm is reached out long. Knees are stacked. Shoulders, hips and ankles are in one long line. Top hand rests on that bottom arm. We're coming into a nice stretch first. So we're going to drag that top arm across the bottom, across the chest, open it up to the side. I'm going to wriggle forward a little bit so that I can get the full range of this stretch. So drag that arm, open it up, let that arm hover from the mat, open up through the shoulder and the chest, and reverse it, close it back up. Again, try and keep those hips and those knees still and stacked as we're twisting through the upper body. I guys might like to follow that right arm. We'll go 1 more like this. Close it back up. The next one we're doing is we're circling that arm over. So reach the arm above you, circle it around to the back, and reverse that movement. So opening up through the shoulder and the chest here. We'll go 1 more. Bring it back. And then coming into our full side lying, so hand can rest on that arm or on that hand, whatever feels more comfortable for you here. Those knees are still pulled in as you extend that bottom leg out nice and long. We're lifting that leg up, lower it down. Nice and slow here, lift up and down. So as we lower that leg, we want to stop once it gets to hip height. Using some resistance on that way down. Imagining we're trying to squish a ball or a balloon, trying to deflate it here. Nice and slow, everything else stays still. Why does the opposite side, the opposite leg always feels so much heavier than the first one? We're going to go for another 3. Leave that leg at hip height in 2 and 1. Hold that leg at hip height. We're sweeping that leg forward. Take it back behind you. Sweep it forward and back. You might get that little extension as you take that leg back. And you might like to point the toes as you sweep it forward. Flex the foot to take it back. Trying to keep that leg lifted at hip height. Nice, slow and controlled movement. Work for another 5 like this. 4, 3. We're going to keep that leg out in front in 2 and 1. Bring that leg forward as close to your body as you can. Tap the toes down. lift it up, tap it down, and lift. It's our last little bit here. Stay strong through the top leg. Use that exhale to pull it up. We'll go for another 5. We're done after this in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Nice work, guys. Beat out that glute. We'll roll onto our backs once more, and we'll just have a nice little stretch here. So take that left ankle over the right knee. Pull that right leg in towards you. Stretching through the left glute here. You might like to take a little rock from side to side. You might like to use that elbow to press that knee away. Getting a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then you might find a little spot here that feels real nice and juicy. And you might want to hold it there for a breath or two. Or just keep flowing through the moves. Taking some really deep breaths here as we come to the end of our practice. Maybe thinking about what lies ahead for the rest of the day, what your goals are, or if it's the end of the day, maybe thinking about what you're grateful for today, what you have achieved. And we'll lower those legs down. Switching legs, so take the right ankle over the left knee, pull that left leg in. This one should feel a little bit nicer because we just worked, well, maybe not nicer, maybe it was worse, because we just worked that right glute. Maybe taking a rock, maybe pressing that elbow into the knee. Maybe holding that nice juicy spot. Taking some deep breaths in here. And we'll release that stretch. Pull both those knees in. Chin comes up to those knees. Take a few roll back and forwards last time. Coming all the way up. And then we are all done. Grab a drink if you need. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you felt a nice little burn. Thanks, guys.